Welcome to the Urban Renewal Agency meeting of February 10th, 2014. Roll call, please.
Chair Sprague.
Here.
Dick Anderson.
Here.
Gordon Eggleton. Gary Ellingson.
Here.
Chester Norikis.
Here.
Wes Ryan.
Here.
Henry Quant.
Here.
This is a time when citizens can speak before the agency on non-agenda items, if you would like. I don't know if anybody signed up for the agency meeting. We're checking. Okay, anybody that wishes to speak, you're welcome to come up to the podium and speak. Nobody wants to, that's fine.
I was going to speak on the...
That's not now, no. That's at the regular council meeting that starts at 6.
Okay, then I'm good.
Okay. All right. Next item on the agenda are the minutes of the last meeting of January 27th, 2014. Any additions or corrections?
I think you'll notice they'll be available at the next Urban Renewal meeting.
Pardon me?
They haven't been posted.
Weren't they posted?
Yeah, if you read the item, it says, minutes.
Excuse me. Minutes of the 27th meeting will be available for consideration at the next Urban Renewal Agency meeting. Okay. Then we'll forego that one. We have a special order of business, a presentation on the under levy plan, the minor amendment and bond. Allison.
Good evening.
Evening, Allison.
Okay. Last October, the Urban Renewal Agency and the City Council held a joint meeting to discuss considerations regarding the sunset of the city's Urban Renewal District, which, as you know, runs through the city, mostly along Highway 101, to the beach in parts of Taft, Nelscott, D-Lake, and Ocean Lake. In December and January, the Urban Renewal Director, Kurt Olson, presented a proposed underlevy plan to the overlapping taxing districts. And at the January 27th Urban Renewal Agency meeting, you all received a staff presentation from Kurt Olson on the proposed plan to extend the Urban Renewal District's self-imposed sunset date of June of this year. This underlevy plan would collect only 20% of the district's usual tax increment each year up to the existing maximum indebtedness. The other 80% of the tax collection would be released to the overlapping taxing districts, and the underlevy plan would not exceed 10 years. These changes to the Urban Renewal Plan are considered a minor amendment, which would happen through Resolution Urban Renewal 2014-02, which you have in your packet later on your agenda. And the resolution includes that the agency shall not issue indebtedness after June 30th of 2024, and that it shall not take division of taxes after June 30th, 2024, although projects may still be completed with any remaining funds that are already collected. Also included in your packet is a letter of support from the Devils Lake Water Improvement District Board of Directors, and also Resolution Urban Renewal 2014-03, which would authorize the sale of urban renewal tax increment bonds for infrastructure improvements within the Urban Renewal District. And City's financial planner, Ron Tierney, is here tonight if you have any questions that are bond related.
Are there any questions?
No questions. Mr. Chairman, though, I would like to at least let agency know that the agency and staff made presentations to all the taxing districts on this and went around and met with them. All of them, to the most extent, were very pleased with the plan, one being informed, and then the plan of actually, getting 80% of the amount now. The exception would have been the fire district. Fire district clearly planned on 100%, kind of sunsetting in June of this year. But they they didn't respond in any way back to us, I see. But they were all the rest of them were really very pleased with, in essence, I think the quote was found money that they hadn't planned on. So I wanted the agency to know that, there's been quite an effort out to the other taxing districts on this proposal.
Okay. Any other comments? I'd like to suspend the orders, the rules of order of our agenda for this evening and move to item G, resolutions. Following our discussion and vote on the two resolutions before us, we will return then to the special order of business for project updates as time allows. If there are no objections, I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules of order.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carries. We now go to item G, resolutions. We have two resolutions for approval. Is that you, Allison?
The resolution should be just on the agenda in the item, and so those are available for you to do discussion or voting.
Ron, do you have any comments?
Not on that resolution. This is the same resolution that was in your packet as a draft at the last meeting, and was prepared by our urban renewal advisor and her attorney, and then it was reviewed by our bond counsel with their input, and they made some little tweaks to it, but other than that, it's basically the same resolution that we had in your packet last meeting.
Okay. We have before us resolution UR 2014-02. It's a resolution of the Urban Renewal Agency of the City of Lincoln City, Oregon, approving a minor amendment to the year 2000 plan, directing staff to commence with revenue sharing in July 2014, and directing staff to proceed with preparation of a substantial amendment to the year 2000 plan.
I'd move to approve.
Seconded.
There is a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Let's have a roll call vote, please.
Sprague,
Yes.
Norikis,
Yes.
Quant,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
and Ellingson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
It passes. Thank you. We have a second resolution before us. UR 2014-03, a resolution of the Urban Renewal Agency of the City of Lincoln City, authorizing urban renewal bonds in an aggregate principal amount of no more than $4 million. Since this one involves money, we also need a roll call vote. Is there any discussion?
Actually, I'd make the motion for approval.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
In discussion. Hearing none. What's up?
Mr. Chairman, I guess, Ron, if I could, this $4 million is there's roughly $7 million left in our funding, and this would be to just pull down $4 million of that in a bond. Is that
Correct.
Okay.
We have $6,975,000 to be exact remaining of our maximum indebtedness. I propose to do this in two phases. The first phase, up to $4 million, repayable in 4 years. The second phase would be whatever the balance is, payable with the additional 6 years. I don't anticipate us doing the entire $4 million. This first time, the numbers, when I look at it from the financial institution, the numbers look better at $3.5 million to them, or even $3 million, because they're probably going to require some considerable bond reserves, because they don't have the pledge of 100% of the tax increment. They only have a pledge of 20%, so they're going to ask for more security. So I don't anticipate us going to the 4, but I wanted to have the leeway.
Gotcha. Okay.
Any other discussion or questions? If not, let's have a roll call vote.
Norikis,
Yes.
Quant,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Eggleton,
He's absent.
Ellingson,
Yes.
and Sprague.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, let's resume to the regular order of business, back to special projects.
And Mr. Hawker has a memo on this agenda item.
Okay?
It's my belief that one of the primary reasons that the agency approved the extension of the urban renewal tax at a 20% rate was so that we could clear out some of the major obstacles for development in the north part of Lincoln City. The biggest single obstacle that we have is the capacity in the West Devils Lake Road lift station. It is at or near capacity, meaning that any future development of Lincoln Palisades, the villages, and other areas of the north would require an expansion of that. There really isn't an economical way to expand that incrementally. It's a replacement of the wet well, the pumps, and you can't keep doing that and redoing it. The cost would be absolutely prohibitive. So in order to be economical and gain capacity, we need to go to the ultimate expansion of that lift station. This is a sewer lift station. Cost, we think, and it's a budget estimate, is probably about $1.3 million, including the engineering. The engineering has been done on it. The private owner, previous owner, private owner of the villages, had the design done, had it reviewed by DEQ, had it approved a number of years ago. We went to bid, was not built. So based on that design, we would like to take a hard look at the design to make sure it's current and go through the DEQ approval process. It can only be done, the project can only be initiated in dry weather because of the replacement of the wet well and the high groundwater that would exist and the high flows that would exist. So it has to be done in, let's say, June, July, August, September, somewhere in that time frame. If we don't proceed with that project now, at least initial phases of that project now, we'll be a year away from being able to do anything with it, an additional year. So I propose, and will do so unless you wish that I not, award the initial design review of this project in the amount of $22,800. That's well within my purchasing authority. And I wouldn't have brought it to you except it would be the first nose in the tent of a $1.3 million project. And I obviously don't want to spend $22,800 if the agency has no desire to fund the whole thing. Now, that would still leave plenty of opportunities to stop this along the way. And it will also leave plenty of opportunities to decide if we're going to require development to reimburse this in all or part. So anyway, that's what I'd like to do, get it started so we would have the option of completing it in this calendar year.
Okay, discussion, questions?
I just wanted to know if, do we need a motion to that effect?
I think consensus probably is good enough.
Consensus, I'm in favor of it because if we can't really do any more development until it's taken care of, we better get the ball rolling as fast as we can.
Okay, other comments?
I would agree. I think this has been on one of the pump stations that we've identified early, and it's not new news to us. It's just getting it quick out of the blocks. So I concur.
How about the rest of the agency? Is there a concurrence?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Gary?
Oh, sorry.
Agree?
You bet.
I, too, agree. I think you have a consensus to go ahead.
I'll proceed, and we'll keep you up to date as we proceed on this.
Okay. Well, let's see. Allison, kitchen upgrade at the Cultural Center.
Okay, so this item is just more kind of an FYI to let you know what's going on. The Lincoln City Cultural Center continues to raise funds and secure grants for improvements to the D-Lake School facility. One of their current projects is a $50,000 kitchen upgrade, and this is to their commercial kitchen, which will allow the center to make available the kitchen for caterers, farmers market vendors, and other short-term users, creating food for public sale and consumption. During the installation of the kitchen exhaust hood equipment in the basement of the facility, it became apparent that the location of the venting hood and a venting fan and hood system was a concern, and the project was placed on hold as a number of options were explored. And a final plan has yet to be approved. We felt it was important just to let you know what's going on, that their creative brains and building department getting their heads together to figure out the best approach to solve this issue. And there may be an urban renewal grant that will be requested sometime in the next meeting or two, depending on how quickly drawings can get put together. So just wanted to give you an update on that.
Let me add a little bit to that. The major obstacle is that the location of the exhaust fan and the intake fan are on the front facade of that building. When the agency acquired that building and subsequently leased it to the Four Cs, one of the very important issues at the time was that we protect the historic front of the building and the main entrance and lobby. For the most part, the rest of the building wasn't protected. So this would be, if not camouflage in some manner, a considerable departure from what was intended by the historic facade of that building. Trying to find ways that this can be done economically and aesthetically. It is going to require, whatever we do with the front of that building, I'm not going to approve it. I can approve minor things, and I will, but I won't approve something it's going to have to come to you, possibly with our recommendation. We want to help solve this problem if we can, and we looked hard at running up the ventilation up through the interior of the building, but it became too much expense and unknowns to do that. So if it's going to be completed, it's going to be up the front of the building, and it's a big ugly.
Okay. Any questions?
Well, I'm sorry, Gary. Did I say something I shouldn't have?
Well, it depends on how you look at it.
Medium ugly.
Okay, let's go on to the next item, updates on urban renewal projects.
So I did just provide updates on the projects a couple weeks ago, and we don't have any significant updates. So what I had planned to do was just kind of recap 2013, which I'm happy to do unless you would like to end now. So
well, let's go ahead. We've got 10 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, recap of 2013. Economic development. So as folks might remember, there were some new economic development tools that came on board, which are available on the city website. And we have the energy efficiency loan program, which is 0% interest for commercial buildings. And we also have a business expansion loan program, and these are all for businesses or properties located within the urban renewal district for our viewing audience. And the business expansion loan is 0 to 2% interest, and folks can borrow up to $75,000. And so those were two new tools. We also have a new grant program that was that's now available for local program support. So entities that are doing economic development, we didn't want to reinvent the wheel or do things that others are already doing. So we have a grant program which is up to $10,000 for each economic development program that an entity is doing. And we had two grant recipients. One was the Small Business Development Center, and the other is Buy Local Lincoln County, focusing on a Buy Local Lincoln City effort, which is, I hear, soon to get off the ground. We also have our wonderful rehabilitation or facade improvement loan program, which we've had since 1999. We have made over 40 loans, and $1.7 million have gone out into the community to improve the appearance of buildings. We have our annual repayments on those loans are $50,000, so kind of low at the moment just because it has been more than 10 years now, and a lot of those loans are getting paid off. And we've had no defaults. We also had the agency city council workshop to talk about how urban renewal can be a funding mechanism for infrastructure improvements that are needed mostly in the north end of the city. And we did meet with the overlapping taxing districts, which we went over earlier this evening, and that covers that one. The enterprise zone, urban renewal was approached about working with city planning and the Economic Development Alliance of Lincoln County to kind of get our heads together and figure out how the enterprise zone could be reshaped. I guess there were some properties that didn't really make much sense for tax benefits and other incentives through the state for our region, and so that map was created, and Lincoln County Economic Development Alliance is now moving that along through the process to get adopted and finalized. We've done a number of website updates. We also contribute to other city pages with the community links, with transportation, housing, and the Link bus route. We've continued to work with Lincoln County Transit on improving whatever stops we can, moving signs for bus stops where they make sense, and Public Works continues to, invest in stops when they can, and we do print up the schedules for them. We had Highway 101 traffic counters. Agency staff has been the liaison between ODOT and the city, developing a plan to install traffic counters at the north and south ends of Lincoln City. The north installation at North Clancy Road is completed at ODOT expense, and the south location design at Drift Creek Road is completed, the location's completed, and the city will be funding the installation of that. We had the RRFB lighting project. It's one of my favorites. That's at the 33rd Street and Highway 101 pedestrian crossing. Pedestrian activated, push the button, and the flashers go off. This is really great. It's helped with visibility, and I've noticed personally that people do stop more readily. So, and that was Public Works project, so Urban Renewal funded that. The electric vehicle charging stations at the this was part of the ODOT electric vehicle highway project. There was a new fast charge charger that went in at the D-Lake School, and we still have our 2 chargers in Taft and also 2 in Ocean Lake at the East 15th Street parking lot. We installed Northwest 15th Street interpretive signage, and one sign commemorates the community volunteer effort to improve 15th Street beach access for vehicular use, and the other sign recognizes the Lincoln County Guerrillas, which were organized during World War II to patrol and guard the beaches. We are providing funds to Public Works to do a complete rebuild of the sidewalks and access ramps of the North 22nd Street intersection. And some modifications will be made to the turn lanes, and provisions for the new community center sign will also be included. The utility undergrounding design, as you know, this is kind of a hefty project for design, and this project will design undergrounding of overhead utilities along the west side of Highway 101 from Northwest 2nd to Southwest Ebb, and we're continuing to coordinate with the impacted property owners, and we'll be keeping you all in touch as that moves along. Same with the South 1st Street traffic signal upgrade, and with the anticipation of undergrounding the overhead utilities, we will be replacing this traffic signal, and this will have mast arms instead of wires, and this project will get constructed before the utility undergrounding. The agency is also providing funds to Public Works for the extension of existing sidewalk along Highway 101, and this is for Southeast 16th to 19th, which is kind of right in front of Orsborn Saw and North Lincoln Sanitary. This will have a nice turnout for the bus stop to be there, and it'll have a bus shelter. We're also almost finished with Southwest 35th Street public parking lot design, and we are going to be constructing this before May 1st so that ODOT can not have us in the way as they start their Highway 101 project. And the last item I've got is Southwest Keel Avenue sewer construction. This was a project to extend the sewer line 350 feet along the Southwest Keel right-of-way, which runs parallel to Highway 101, and provide some infrastructure to the east side of Highway 101 for future development. That was very fast. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Allison.
Okay, thank you.
Impressive
Appreciate
list.
that. We've done a lot with because of the urban renewal, and more to come. Any agency comments?
None.
If not, I will adjourn the meeting. We'll take about 5 minutes before the city council meeting.